All right.
All right.
Welcome to Turn It Down. Turn It Down. This is the best show, podcast, YouTube video, media source, whatever this is. Sponsored by coronavirus, COVID-19. So here we are kicking it off on our Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing started. We were just talking one day. We were like, let's talk sports. Let's make a show. Let's make a video. Let's get it going. And so this is just an extension of our dinner table conversations that we have at Houghton, just an extension of all that football talk. And yeah, we just want to bring some fun, some silly, NFL news, hot takes, jokes, and, a good time. So
I'll just introduce ourselves first. So my name is Christian. I'll be one of the co-hosts on the show. You can see in the back, I'm a big Ravens fan. I'm a comm major, theology major. I'm from Connecticut. Yeah, I love hanging out, running, goofing off.
Okay. I'm John, co-host as well, and I am a big Steeler fan. If you look around my room, you can see Steeler flags everywhere, Steeler posters, all that good stuff. Big-time Steeler fan, and I'm just excited for the show and to just win every debate.
We'll see about that. We've got a special guest today.
Yeah. Glad to be on the first inaugural podcast, hopefully first of a couple, if not many.
Yeah, so we got Dillon Scoots over here joining us.
Yes, sir. Also from
I actually saw Dillon today, so yeah, I guess just to start off, how's everybody doing with the virus?
Doing well, still getting out and running around, but making sure I stay safe.
maybe an hour or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm staying busy. Going for a couple runs. I'm a little bored. Sometimes ain't gonna lie, but yeah, this is the highlight of my day.
Aw.
Scoots, how you doing?
Yeah, I've been self-quarantining. Not that I'm sick, but just I'm really embracing that early summer break. No need to work, I guess, if it's going to put me in danger. So I've just been playing a little Madden 20, hanging out with you now that you're back in Connecticut. Just been laying low.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. So we got obviously lots of news going on.
NFL, lots to talk about.
My phone's been going crazy. I don't know about yours. Woo!
Oh, it's been a fun couple days. So many QB changes around the league. I know Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers, major news, so much to unpack there. And, just so many QB starters, there's not even enough jobs for them. So just so many major QB things going on and just changes. So I guess the first thing that we'll just start off talking about today is just several QB moves that we want to see happen over the next couple of months.
So, John, you can start us off. What's one QB move you want to see happen that hasn't happened yet? It's coming up.
Well, Cam Newton's going to be a real interesting scenario. It looks like right now he's going to sign with the Chicago Bears. Well, a whole lot more interesting than it was. I think Green Bay has really controlled that division for the last 10-plus years. I think the addition of Cam Newton really makes the Bears a contender with that defense.
Interesting. I think the presence of Nick Foles will help out Mitch Trubisky. I don't know if they can handle the contracts of Nick Foles and Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see what Cam Newton commands with not a lot of teams left.
Yeah.
We're looking for one guy, but yeah, you could go in as a competing guy for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think another one that really stands out to me is we saw the Broncos decide to part ways with Joe Flacco yesterday.
Yes, they did.
Let's be honest, I don't think that ever really worked out. In Denver for him, it was never a great fit. looking around the league right now, it's tough to see him really going to many places. There's not a ton of starting jobs left around the league. I could maybe see Miami as a viable option because I know a lot of Dolphins
Oh, wow.
I know a lot of Dolphins fans don't want to see Fitzpatrick starting, but we'll see what happens
Yeah.
with that.
That's true. I could see Joe finding himself. I mean, I think the man should be in a backup role. I don't know. I think last year we saw enough of Joe Flacco. But, I think it'd be fun for me as a Ravens fan to see him end with a chance to compete with Tyrod Taylor over in Los Angeles. I'd love to see it, but I don't know.
A little revenge,
man
too.
Might be out of man might be out of a job.
I can see him retiring, honestly.
Oh.
It might be
that part of his career. If no one wants to give him a hefty salary, I don't know if he's playing for third string or second string anywhere.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. Yeah.
So here's one. Here's a QB move I want to take, and I'm not trying to be controversial with this one, but I really actually like the sound of this, and I know this one you might not like the way this sounds, John.
I think
but
that
here's
might
what I'd
know
love
where
to
this
see.
is going.
I would love to see Jameis Winston go to the Pittsburgh. I would love to see Jameis Winston go to the Pittsburgh Steelers on a 2-year deal. Not Tom Brady. Ben Roethlisberger gets a chance to play out his contract, and then Jameis Winston. We've seen enough of Mason Rudolph, Devlin Hodges, Paxton Lynch. Get him out of there. We've seen enough. I say Jameis Winston, 2-year deal. Give him the chance to compete against a rookie, maybe draft a rookie in one of the later rounds. Give him a chance and to earn the job in Pittsburgh. I would love to see it. What do you think, Joe?
As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I never want to see that. I don't even know if the man can play in cold weather. He played at Florida State, didn't he? And now he's at Tampa. Like, the dude hasn't played a game in sub 60-degree weather like his entire career. And you expect him to just be able to fit into Pittsburgh where it's 20 degrees in December. And throw on top of it, the dude threw 30 picks this year. He's going to be giving Steeler fans migraines if he goes there. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope Roethlisberger can give us another year or two, and we can find someone decent in the draft after that.
Okay. I'm just saying. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers might be making some calls, but I'd love to see it. I think it'd be.
I mean,
Dylan,
Yeah, I definitely think he has something to offer places. I don't personally see Pittsburgh as the place to be. I mean, he is big arm like Big Ben used to be. He did get LASIK eye surgery. You never know if that accuracy goes up this year. I see him more in Jacksonville or Los Angeles, though, keeping that that nice weather going for him.
Well, that was another thing I was actually going to bring up. I would love to see a QB battle in training camp between Gardner Minshew and Jameis Winston. That'd be fun too. But if you look at the receivers, what you have in Juju Smith-Schuster and James Washington is sort of similar to what you have in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I mean, we saw what they did last year. I think it's intriguing to say the least.
Yeah.
Jacksonville could be cool.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how much money he commands regardless.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay was set to give him $25-30 million if they gave him what his agent wanted, but they opted to give Tom Brady that $25 million.
Yeah. I mean, Jameis Winston's going to be so interesting to see where he lands.
He's one of the big chips.
Dylan, if you've got one more interesting QB thing you want to see, I've got another crazy one that I'm thinking about.
Let's hear yours and I'll call for it.
So here's what I'm going to skip ahead to the draft.
Oh, I like that.
I would love to see. I'd love to see Joe Burrow go first overall. I think he's earned that, having one of the best seasons by any college QB ever. Love to see Chase Young go second to Washington Redskins. I think that's a great fit there. And the Redskins got some time to sort of get a blue chip player, and you can't pass on an opportunity like that. Now we're talking third. I would love to see the Lions take Tua Tagovailoa third overall and say, Matt Stafford, we're going to bring in a rookie. I would love to see it.
Are they picking third, or are you saying trade up?
I don't think it's going to happen, but I think Tua could be a very interesting fit in the Lions. I mean, I think they're going to get some great trade offers, but Matt Stafford's been injured, and we've seen a lot from him. He's taken him to the playoffs, once or a couple times, but Tua would be a very interesting fit in my mind. I think that would be such a draft surprise.
Yeah, I haven't heard quarterback from them yet because they like Matt Stafford. What were you saying, John?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of questions with Tua, with that injury he's coming off of. And they seem to like Matt Stafford up there in Detroit. I don't think Matt Patricia thinks Matthew Stafford is necessarily the problem right now. I think I just don't see Tua really fitting in well there. I just don't think he really has the weapons necessary for him to be successful.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Interesting to see where Tua goes with the injury and everything.
Yep.
I mean, with the talk about Miami starting to really love Justin Herbert. We'll see.
Yeah. One last one if we have time. Andy Dalton is another potential offer on the table for a few teams, especially with the New England Patriots. You guys see that happening?
What do you think?
I didn't hear any news.
I've heard rumors of him possibly being a good fit for Bill Belichick's offense and replacing Tom Brady. There's nothing really been official yet, just some rumors going around.
Yeah, I think that'd be an interesting one. I heard it the other day that the Patriots, this was just an interesting fact I'd heard, the Patriots haven't had a QB start for them that they haven't drafted since sometime in the 1990s, which is just a crazy stat in my mind because I mean, so many other teams, they're signing free agents and stuff, but the Patriots just love the way they draft. I think it'd be really interesting to see them go all the. I mean, I feel like they have to add someone to the room before the draft, whether it's maybe a journeyman QB or someone. But if they go into the draft with Jared Stidham, it'd be so interesting to see what their game plan is.
Yeah,
that would be interesting because
yeah. Well, so John, what do we got next?
Next question. Let me share my screen real quick. And see it up. I can't minimize the screen while recording. So if you read,
it's about where the free agents best available are going.
Okay.
I'll throw you a couple names. You got Jadeveon Clowney coming off his short-term contract with the Seahawks. He's an unrestricted free agent. And you got Robbie Anderson, Carlos Hyde, Ndamukong Suh. Some big names, I think. And,
okay.
Yeah,
you want me to take this one first, or you want to go? Or Dylan, you want to take this one first, or?
Well, yeah, Dylan, tell us where do you think Jadeveon Clowney ends up?
I see him going to a contender again. I know he said in the past he wants to win. He liked his time in the Seahawks, but I think he's moving on from there, so I don't see them re-signing with him. Rams are bleeding cash. I know they've lost someone. I think he goes to a team like maybe not the Chiefs, but maybe a team like I could see maybe the Eagles if they had room in their D-line. I could see a team maybe like the Cowboys, the team that spends a lot on D-linemen. The Cowboys already signed Quinn, I think. I think a team maybe that likes to bolster their D-line going after him. And that'll help with that. Like he was kind of a piece of the Seahawks, not a big guy.
Yeah, I mean, here's an interesting. I struggle to see where he's going to end up because I mean the contract's too big. I don't know who's willing to take a risk on him. I think the Seahawks would love to keep him around, but I mean, they don't have the capital to make a move like that. One team I think that could maybe come into play is, I know some of my friends might like to hear this, but I think the Buffalo Bills
Really?
come into play for Jadeveon Clowney. They took a loss, losing Shaq Lawson on the D line, losing him to I think Miami, and so I'd love to see Jadeveon Clowney maybe come to Buffalo on a 1-year deal if he doesn't like the offers he's hearing somewhere else. I think that'd be really fun.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, so I was reading a report earlier today that told me it's down to 3 teams, basically the Seahawks,
Oh, really?
the Seahawks, Titans, and Jets. The market I guess the market just hasn't been there for him. He hasn't gotten the money he's expected. And I believe the Seahawks threw out a 2-year, $8 million deal for him on the table. $8 million. 2-year, $8 million, I believe. So we'll see
18.
was it 18?
Big Beasley got a bigger deal than that.
18.
Okay, 18.
Yeah.
18. My mistake. My mistake. 18. But
That's a lot. He's commanded a lot.
yeah. I mean, like, I've never been a big Clowney fan. I feel like J.J. Watt carried him when he was in Houston. I feel he went ghost mode when he was in Seattle at times, especially in the playoffs. And I can see why there hasn't been a ton of interest in him thus far.
Yeah, I mean, he finds a way to go ghost. I mean, he always seems to grade pretty high somehow, even though the production's not always there. I think the Titans, I'm glad they're in the mix because, man, him on that line with some of the other pieces they have there, I think that's a crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be one of the best D lines in the league.
Yeah. Well, they just lost Casey off their line. They just lost him, so he would be a good asset to plug in replace of him. I think Casey plays D tackle, but even so, that would still be a relatively good. Yeah, that'd still be a good replacement.
Yeah, well, he's an interesting one. And I mean, Ravens seem to have paid themselves out of the mix, paying for Michael Brockers. And, I think the Ravens are no longer in play for him, even though that'd be a fun fit, too. Speaking of the Ravens, one person that just became a free agent I would love to see the Ravens make a move for is Clay Matthews.
Mm.
Clay Matthews, you know how much the Ravens, they love their compensatory picks. And Clay Matthews was released, so it doesn't count against compensatory pick formula. This would be such a Ravens move to trade Matt Judon like how they've been trying to do. I don't think they want to pay him that $16 million on the franchise tag. And to make a move for Clay Matthews while they let some of their younger guys develop. They're going to take a pass rusher in the draft. I would like to see it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see the Ravens making a move like that. I know Clay Matthews he's thinking about retirement definitely in the back of his mind, whether he wants to call it a career or not after. But when I watched him on the Rams, I saw spurts of good production with Clay Matthews. And I definitely think he's still worth, a contract and playing in this league. Even if he's not playing every single down, I still think he can provide some good production for a team that's willing to take a chance on him. And if he's in a good system, I can definitely see him fitting in well.
Yeah, for sure.
From the Ravens system, they love their veterans. Getting Earl Thomas from the Seahawks, getting Weddle from the Rams a couple years ago.
Yep.
And it's worked out well for them. If they don't ask for too much money, if they buy into the system, it can lead to great success. If they fit into the team.
And they even they went after Calais Campbell, who I think just turned 32 years old. So I think he still has, and they only gave up a 5th-round pick for him too, which isn't bad. Whether he has any production left in him is still in question, I think. But even if he ends up being a bust, I mean, he gave up a 5th-round pick, so it was worth a shot if you ask me.
Yeah, I love the fit. Calais Campbell is going to bring the leadership to Baltimore. He's going to bring some greatness. I mean, 5th-round pick for him. I think he's worth way more than that. But
Me too.
Contract stuff got to restructure that deal. But that was a steal. So Dillon, if you had to find a fit for our speed man Robbie Anderson, where do you think Robbie Anderson is going to end up?
Funny you should ask that because I've been hearing a lot of Buccaneer Twitter accounts clamoring for him.
Really?
Help for Tom Brady. Yeah, I have. We're looking for one more receiver, just kind of further out that receiving core that already has Evans, Godwin, and hopefully Howard can take a step back in the right direction this year at the tight end position. I think Robbie Anderson would be great with his speed. I was reading an article that he hasn't really gotten any offers yet this offseason. So now that we're sharing up the Tom Brady contract, he got his physical finally and all that, I think it'll free up some of our time to maybe pursue him. Hopefully it won't be too costly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the QB needy teams are – I mean, not QB. The wide receiver needy teams don't seem to be getting their acts together. I mean, the Texans, now they're in the mist. And, I mean, they signed Randall Cobb, but I think Robbie Anderson could be a good fit there, too, or something.
I could see the Texans, get Deshaun Watson some help. They were in the playoffs, beating up on the Chiefs last year for crying out loud. They're moving the wrong direction.
Yeah. But they might have the cap space to make a move for Robbie Anderson.
True.
Yeah, I think Robbie Anderson would be a good fit in Tampa. He's definitely not a number one, and I think it's in question whether he's even a number two. He's just very inconsistent. I mean, I've told people this. It's either 2 receptions for 10 yards or it's 2 receptions for 100 yards with Robbie Anderson. You don't know which one you're going to get on a weekly basis. I can see Tampa being a great place for him. I've heard the Bengals have shown interest in him with A.J. Green and Boye. I could definitely see him fitting in there. I heard the Raiders were interested in him. Bring him in with Derek Carr to provide a deep threat weapon. And I also heard the Patriots were possibly interested. But now that Brady's gone, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, a team I thought was going to go out there and sign one of these rookie wide receivers that hasn't done anything is the Giants. I mean, they made a couple moves on defense, but they might not know how bad they need a wide receiver, but Golden Tate's getting up there. Sterling Shepard, I mean, man's brain is jello at this point. I mean, with all the concussions he got. I mean, Darius Slayton was a great find for them. That was a great pickup for them last year in the draft. But, I mean, I was expecting them to be in the market for Emmanuel Sanders. Don't know if he wants to go there, but, I mean, even one of these guys, Tavon Austin, like, the Giants need to make a move for one of these guys at some point.
Yeah, no one's really pouncing on the wide receivers.
Yeah, the Giants need a lot of help.
That's also true.
A lot of help.
Police! Help!
I'm sorry, John. We hate to say that.
Giants could use some work. I think it'll be interesting to see. I think Emmanuel Sanders, doesn't seem to be hearing many offers either, but the fit was perfect in the 49ers.
Yeah, he thrived there. I could see him trying to go to another contender for something small, maybe just above the veterans. Okay, maybe a short 1-year deal.
Yeah.
As a Steelers fan, I really hope Pittsburgh makes a move on Emmanuel Sanders. Juju needs some help. He's played for the Steelers before. He knows the Steelers offense. He did well in Pittsburgh. I would really like to see him come back to Pittsburgh where he started his career.
Home reunion, yeah.
That'd be nice. That'd be a good 4, and even Ryan Switzer in there as a 5. That'd be really nice.
Yep.
Well, so here's a bonus one. Where's Antonio Brown next year? And his home couch is an option.
That's a good option because that one might be the favorite right now.
Well, I can say this. Go ahead, Christian.
No, I don't know. I've got no idea. Maybe jail? No, I'm kidding.
Well, I can say this. I mean, I know Brady really wants him. Bruce Arians isn't a huge fan of what I've heard so far. But, I mean, he's going to want 100 receptions, 1,000 yards. And I don't think Mike Evans and Godwin are willing to move over for that. And when you get Tom Brady, I don't know if they need Antonio Brown right now. I feel he would be more of a burden for the team in some sorts. I feel a Robbie Anderson, although maybe less talented, is a better fit.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Antonio Brown. I don't know where the fit is for him. I think it'd be crazy to see him go to a team like the Seahawks. They might have room for him. Pete Carroll has room for him, but I think Antonio Brown ends up on his couch next year.
Yeah, I'm really seeing couch or the Bucks for now until I hear otherwise. And I don't really see the Bucks. As John said, I've heard the same thing about Coach Arians not loving the shenanigans, and he doesn't really need another deep threat, like do-it-all number 1 receiver when he got Evans and then Godwin, who emerged last year. On the same note, though, Josh Gordon is looking to be reinstated.
I saw that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting to see if that another disgraced former, all-pro, basically. I think he was an all-pro, if not just Pro Bowl, yeah.
Well, with the new CBA, he might find a place for himself in the league and the changes they've made to some of their illegal substance changes.
You're going to smoke weed now?
So, I mean, when I was looking over these free agents, I mean, it feels like we're shopping for toilet paper at the store. I mean, there's not much left.
I think one that's still out there low is Ngakwe from Jacksonville, the D end. He is not happy in Jacksonville, and he wants out. I think that's a big target for some teams, and it's still a good gem out on the market. Just saying.
Oh, he wants out. He wants to go to Baltimore, but I mean, I don't know if the trade's there.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of demand when you're calling for out. You're not giving your team a lot of leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if I was Jacksonville, I mean, I think they've got something good there. If they could find a way to keep him, I think that'd be the best thing for them. But he does not seem like he wants to be there. I don't know what his trade market is. But that franchise tag and the type of deal he's looking to get. Yeah, there's talks him on the trade block last year.
Yeah, doesn't always formulate. You gotta wait till the contract runs out sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So for this
next segment here, I'm calling this one the no scoots segment.
Forward to this, yes.
So these are things that may have happened in the past couple weeks, or things that just made you want to say no scoots, no scoots.
I've been saying it.
So these are some real head scratcher moves. Dylan, what's been making you say no scoots?
Yeah, I'll let you guys come up with one or two of your own if you have some, but I have a couple in the signing, the trade, and other categories where I was just saying no scoots. And I think the obvious one came when Bill O'Brien traded not favorite receiver DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best in the league, for what was the equivalent of maybe 10 cents on the dollar, because he got back a once top-of-the-line running back who's now older, since then injured, and then only a second-round pick, like, net, because they gave up a fourth-rounder, if I'm not mistaken, in addition to getting the fourth-rounder. So
Yep.
They essentially got David Johnson and his contract, and then only a second-rounder. When you look at some of the other wide receiver trades, such as Diggs to the Bills,
Right.
you should have got more for Hopkins. That was a no scoots moment if you're a Texans fan or DeAndre or anyone on the Texans.
Yeah, that was just about the craziest thing I'd ever seen. I don't know what was going through Bill O'Brien's mind. I know some riffs and things there, but Deshaun Watson's got to be upset. I feel for him. I mean, they built such good chemistry. Yeah, that was a no scoots moment for sure.
Yeah,
No.
It seems like you get those no scoots moments when you have these coaches that also want to play GM. Like Belichick makes it look easy, but some coaches need to stick to coaching.
Yeah. Well, so obviously that's the big one. John, what made you say no scoots?
I mean, I think we all saw it coming, but giving Phillip Rivers $25 million to go to Indianapolis, that's a lot of money for a man who is really looking. You're paying for the name brand instead of the quality at this point in his career. I mean, will he give you 4,000 yards? Probably. Who's he throwing to? Who knows? It's probably gonna come with about a price tag of 20+ interceptions, but you'll get maybe 25 touchdowns out of it. 8-8 for the Colts next year at best.
That's what I'm thinking too. I had that one for me as well, because you're looking at who at this stage in his career is probably Jacoby Brissett, like 1.1 maybe, not 2.0, that's for sure. Coming off one of his worst seasons in his long successful career with only 23 touchdowns, 20 picks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that Chargers team was pretty talented. Like the O-line was not too good, but like that was a team that could have gone better than 5-11 with maybe Tyrod Taylor, and now the Colts are paying him big starter money for what's only a 1-year option. Like, I guess it's a bridge to maybe drafting someone. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of using Phillip Rivers as a bridge, because, I mean, he's not gonna he wants to have a pretty long leash with all the interceptions he's been throwing. I mean, the O line is there, but you're right with who's he throwing to. I'm looking at it now. I mean, Zach Pascal, Steve Ishmael. I haven't even heard of these guys.
T.Y. Hilton's always hurt.
Paris Campbell's one of the only guys that's got some speed on the depth chart. I mean, this wide receiver core is not what he had in LA.
They just got rid of Eric Ebron too. So like
walked to the
Steelers. Yeah, he went to the Steelers, which I'm not a huge fan of, but
yeah, he's not great last year.
Excuse me, that's for another debate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you think there's anything to be redeemed from this move by the Colts here? Do you think what might make the most of it?
Trying to replace Peyton Manning still. and Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Because
That's true.
I'm sorry, everyone thought Andrew Luck was the next coming once Peyton Manning left, but to be honest, I just didn't see it. People hyped him up. He was good. I didn't think he was great. He got hit too much, and the Colts are back to square one.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was weird to see the 1 year deal. I mean, like, Tom Brady's getting a 2-year deal. Drew Brees on a 2-year deal. A lot of these guys on 2-year deals, so you get that, trying with the potential easy out, and give them a 1 year deal. I mean, you have to draft a rookie.
I'm guessing that's their plan. Impatience is not often rewarded in the NFL, but that's what they're going for. Maybe a little lightning strike, a little charger, reminiscent of his older past when he could go 12-4, 13-3. I don't know. I don't see that for the Colts. That is a pretty easy division, though, it seems to be every year, or at least close.
Yeah, very true. And the Texans made that a little bit easier.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Give away a wide receiver one right there.
Yeah.
I've always liked Phillip Rivers. I've always liked his passion for the game and his fire. I hope the best for him, but I don't know.
Well, so here's a little bit of a head scratcher in my mind. It's not really the actual contract, but it's sort of what it means for the whole organization. Amari Cooper, 5 years, $100 million. I mean, first round pick to get Amari Cooper, but like you got to pay Dak Prescott. Like 5 years, $100 million, and then all these other signings. I mean, I think that just. To see Dak Prescott still playing on the franchise tag and for them to, the price is only going to go up. That was a head scratcher for me to pay Amari Cooper that type of money when you still don't know who your quarterback's going to be in 2021.
Yeah. You got to invest in that position first if you're me.
Yeah. That was a head scratcher for me. I think Amari Cooper will hopefully he proves himself to be worth that $100 deal.
He's got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
I mean, he is not coming. He's coming off a year where he didn't perform that great, and they reward him with a deal like that. Overpaid. I think they could have paid him much less. I wouldn't have given him a 5-year deal, to say the least. But, hey, that's the Cowboys for you.
That's the Cowboys for you. Big spenders. Big free agents.
Yeah, I think Amari Cooper likes to be in Dallas, and I think Dallas likes the name and what Amari Cooper brings to them. I couldn't see that deal happening anywhere else but Dallas.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, I got another one. Or are we still talking about Cooper?
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
This was a Scoots moment for me. No Scoots almost like poking fun because it's a division rival. You don't really root for him in the first place. But the way the Panthers have handled their quarterback situation, I don't hate going from Cam Newton to Bridgewater if I'm a Panthers fan or a Panthers organization guy, like looking from a age standpoint, less injuries, less wear on the body. But the way they went about it, they pounced on him quick enough, pretty much as soon as the Bears couldn't get a deal done with him, that they got no return, no demand for Cam Newton, and now they're about to release a former MVP instead of getting any trade return from him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, an interesting move there. I mean, I think made me go no Scoots. I mean, now we got to see Cam Newton to the Patriots. I'd love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm really curious to see where he goes because he's not ready to hang it up yet. He's got
a 3-year, $63 million contract for Teddy Bridgewater for 5 games he played in New Orleans. Yeah. I don't know. I'd sign him to a year. See how he handles himself. I mean, when he was the starter for Minnesota was last in passing yards for that season.
Oh, right.
Year. Somewhat of a game manager a little bit, yeah.
Yes, he is a little bit of a game manager. Is he going to win you a Super Bowl? No. Can you win a Super Bowl with him? Maybe, but you better have some talent, which I don't see in Carolina.
Yeah, I don't either. That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I hope, it'll be interesting to see the total new front office there. And it'll be interesting to see if they can bring something from Teddy Bridgewater maybe we haven't quite seen yet. I mean, he's getting up there a little bit. He's still very, very young, but yeah. That's an interesting one. All right.
Now, this is by perhaps even more my favorite than no Scoots.
I'm very excited for the segment for you guys.
Now we're gonna move into the Make Sean Mad segment. So, part of the whole reason why we even call this Turn It Down is because when we recorded our first episode, let's call it episode 0. We recorded that first episode. Sean was in the room, and just about everything we said, he didn't like it. It made him bad. Whether it was he didn't like the calls, and he was yelling "Turn it down." We were yelling "Turn it down" the whole time. So this is the Make Sean Mad segment. This is where we get our overreactions, way too early predictions, hot takes. So I could start us off with one. This is an early prediction I would love to see. It's a hot take. This will make Sean mad. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
I would love. Here's what I'm predicting. NFL sack leader next year, Calais Campbell will lead the NFL in sacks.
Wow. That is a take.
A little bit of a homer take.
I don't.
Whew. Wow. I did not see that coming.
It might not happen, but I know that one will make Sean mad. But I think he's got a chance to do some great stuff. I'm so excited about it. All right, what do you guys got? Hot takes.
What's yours, Don?
You want me? Okay. So I think my first hot take is the New England Patriots will not finish with a record above 8-8 this year.
Oh man.
A little Brady over Belichick in the separation.
Yep, that's my first hot take. And then Sean, I don't even know if this is a hot take, but the Giants aren't going to finish above 5-11, and the Giants move on from Daniel Jones after this year. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
That'd be a
wow.
bad year if they're releasing them, or if they're chopping the leash off after this year.
Sean's gonna report this video for like abuse.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dave Gettleman will be able to humble himself that quickly, but I'd love to see it. I was amazed at the 13 fumbles Daniel Jones lost last year. So
very quick.
That was a little.
Not even a full year. Yeah, they've been cutting the coaches left and right every year. We'll see if Joe Judge sticks. He was my offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Well, continuing on the homer picks. What were you saying?
Patriots finishing 8-8. I don't know about that one. I don't see the organization ever dropping below 10-6.
They've been there before. The year Brady got injured
they were 11-5 that year.
Oh, they were
with Matt Castle, yeah. But I think this is the year. We're going to see who's a true Patriots fan. That's for sure.
I don't think Stidham gets them to 10-6 or even 9-7. So I'm with John on that one. Unless they somehow bring in Cam Newton or even Andy Dalton, then I could maybe change my tune. A lot of it hinges on the QB position, yeah.
All right, Dillon, what's your hot take?
All right, I got a homer one and then another one. But my homer one is the Bucs make the playoffs and win multiple games.
You know where the Super Bowl is this year?
It's in Raymond James, baby. Yeah, I think Tom Brady's got a chip on his shoulder, and I think he is going to win this divorce with Belichick and the Patriots, and will have a more successful season in the tune of 10 to 12 games. And even if they only win 9, that should be enough to make the playoffs with this extra spot they're giving out this year. And we'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the NFC South is going to be an exciting division next year.
I agree with you there. The Falcons are.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best things to happen in football. You know, people might not realize Tom Brady and Drew Brees going at it twice a year. That's just going to be. I hope both those games hit prime time. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Yep. I think one thing that really
NFC South is going to be fun to watch.
Todd Gurley's in there now with the Falcons.
Yeah.
We'll see how he responds.
He's only 26, I believe. He's still got some years left if you're a normal running back. I know he's got knee issues, maybe arthritis, but more touches, maybe he'll do something. Hopefully
it'll be interesting to see where Devontae Freeman ends up. Actually, I don't know what the market's like for him, but Todd Gurley definitely seems like an upgrade. Devontae Freeman had that one good season back in 2017 or 2016, but definitely not the guy he used to be.
Got burned, yeah.
Devontae Freeman maybe goes to the Bucs. They need to upgrade at running back.
Yeah. They were looking at Gordon and Gurley and struck out on both.
Yeah, Brady might like that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. So, one of my hot takes I'd love to see is I think Tom Brady will lead the league in passing touchdowns once again in 2020.
Wow.
I think Mike Evans and Tom Brady are going to have a connection that's amazing. And I think the way Bruce Arian attacks the field, I think Tom Brady has a chance to get back up there to be the passing touchdowns leader.
I sure hope so.
He'll have to beat out Lamar because a lot of people don't know Lamar Jackson was the passing touchdown leader.
He was, despite all that rushing, he still led in passing. Yeah, because Jameis was second, I think, second or third.
But I think Tom Brady's got a chance.
Yeah, as long as the system caters to him. I know he's not a huge deep ball guy, but he's got a really good QBR in those medium routes. He doesn't have the arm that some of the quarterbacks have, but he is smart with where he throws it.
Yeah. Any more overreactions, John?
I think that's pretty much my two for now. But
yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I think that's all I got. Dylan, Scoots, close us out. Well, what was your last one?
Overreaction? Are we moving on to predictions at all, or are we just doing a last thing on the segment, or just on overreaction?
Any of your overreactions, way too early predictions, hot takes, whatever you got.
Prediction. I really think that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are already back in the Super Bowl guaranteed just off of his health alone. I think they do it again. I think that he's a winner, like it's in his pedigree. And I think that they will play against a team that could be the Bucs, but in my mind, I don't see it being the Bucs. I see it being maybe the Seahawks getting there out of the NFC. And Russell Wilson versus Patrick Mahomes. You guys, any early predictions for the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, I think the AFC Championship game, pencil it in. John?
Whew.
I don't know what happened there, but
yeah, lost internet, I think, or something. We're back.
Okay, cool. I'm still recording, so yeah, I could wrap us out, and yeah, I think that was a good episode.
Go ahead, wrap us out.
Yeah.
All right, I'm Vernick signing off.
Signing off. Thanks for coming to Turn It Down. All right.
Pleasure being on with you guys. Hopefully, it's episode 1 or episode 2.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. All right.